Hey, horror.
Dawkins!
Dawkins?
Yes!
As in the
band, yes.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it. Hey, horror heads.
Hey, guys.
I know it's been a bit.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, because did you almost just drop your laptop?
Yep.
Fucking hell. It's been a minute, guys. Life kind of gets in the way a little bit sometimes, and not only that, I've been super busy at work and extremely exhausted when I get home.
But now we are back to our regularly scheduled programming.
And we also have a website now.
Woo!
Fuck. It's not perfect, guys.
But we're getting there.
But it's getting there. I bought this damn thing thinking I could do whatever I needed to do with it, but I apparently didn't. Didn't research it enough. Anywho, I'll figure it the fuck out.
I'm sure there's a support we can get a hold of.
Yeah, like emotional support at this point. Okay, so tonight is a true crimer, and while I don't advocate drinking, if you drink, you might want to get one.
This entire episode is going to
Who am I kidding? I advocate drinking. I'm drinking right now.
This entire episode will be focused on her topic. I am here to listen with the rest of you guys.
Yes.
I'll be in the next one.
Yeah, this is going to be some fuckery sprinkled with a holy fuck and some shit show and some lies and deceit and yeah, I might need more alcohol. Okay, here we go. The name of this episode is The Beautiful Brittanee. The information, for most part, is from the TV series Disappeared. It's season 2, episode 1.
Okay.
There's also been various YouTube outlets I've watched, and a shit ton of things online.
So this is pretty widely, documented.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I guess there's no other way to just fucking do it.
Nothing to it but to do it.
Yep. Okay, so this episode is about Brittanee Drexel.
Mm-hmm.
Last seen on 4/25/2009 during spring break in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Okay.
She is from Rochester, New York. Was from Rochester, New York, and was 17 years old.
Okay.
She had brown hair, but she often dyed it blonde or had both. And
kind of like how you did for a while.
Yeah. And had blue eyes. She was 5 feet tall and 103 pounds. So
kind of like how you were. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, kind of like, except for I was 5'5". I've shrunk. It's those damn degenerating discs.
The degenerative discs.
Okay, so when I first watched this case, there were so many things that stuck out to me at that time. When it came on, I made sure to watch it. Because there were, like I said, it wasn't... I tried to watch... I watched a couple of different things on this. Because you know me, I'm a true crimer. But for whatever reason, when I was trying to find those episodes again, I either couldn't find them at all or I had to pay for them and fuck a whole lot of that. So anyway, anything I could find, I made sure I watched it.
Yeah.
There were so many variables and unknowns and just super duper weird shit that I had to keep my eye on it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did because it did have a resolution, finally.
Yeah, right before we started recording this, you did say that they did finally close the case.
Sipple. I hate to say this, but the whole thing needs to have a trigger warning on it.
Yeah, as with a lot of true crime stuff that we have talked about or will soon talk about, trigger warning. There is probably going to be some really messed up stuff that happens throughout this that has happened that we will be discussing throughout this episode.
Yes, and a lot of it is of the sexual nature, so it's involves the big R, the big S.
Yeah, God.
So I think I did put that in here. But anyway, we need to keep in mind that Brittanee was 17, which is still a minor.
Yeah.
And so we have nothing but the utmost respect for her and her family, especially since this case just literally broke 2 weeks ago.
Wait, they just closed it 2 weeks ago?
Yes, and
My God!
I will get into that. All right, let's crack-a-lack into it. So, Brittanee was a junior in high school and had some friends who asked her, and I'm going to give you a lot of backstory because it needs to be told.
Yeah.
She was a kid and she needs to have her story put out there. She didn't do anything different than any other kid hasn't fucking done. I've done a million times. I'm sure you've done. I don't know. You were a really good kid. So you didn't take after me. That was your brother.
Yeah.
So anyway, she had some friends who asked her if she wanted to go to spring break at Myrtle Beach. She asked her mom, and her mom told her no. I'm sorry, but if you or your brother asked me back then and when you were 17 if you could go to Myrtle Beach or any other state, I had a fit when you wanted to go down and see RJ. And you were an adult then.
I was just out of high school at that point.
But anyway, her mom told her no, and I would have said no too. I would have said no.
Yeah, that's how parents
This
are.
world's insane. Anyway, her mom said no and told her she had to talk to her stepdad as well, knowing that her ex-husband, because they were divorced now,
Yeah.
Brittanee's real father lived in Florida. That she had to talk to her stepdad, but she knew the ex-husband would say no also. But Brittanee would often play both sides against the other.
Yeah.
After her stepfather also told her no, she was mad and upset, of course, and she called her boyfriend and had him pick her up. She's been struggling, since her parents got divorced, and her junior year wasn't easy. I don't think her junior year is easy for anybody.
No.
She really wanted to go on spring break. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But still no. So a few months before she disappeared, Brittanee overdosed twice on her mom's pain meds.
Jesus.
So she's clearly going through it, the
Bad.
thing. Drugs are never the answer, kids. And besides, kids should not be listening to this. But if you're between 18 and 21, you're still a kid to me. So don't do drugs.
Go to therapy.
But between high school and her parents' breakup, her parents divorcing, and her breakups with John, her boyfriend, she struggled and turned to her mom's meds.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with all in a short amount of time.
And being 17.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the hormones are crazy.
So she started therapy, and her and John got back together, and it seemed like things were getting better for her. She was enthusiastic about sports, and her smile and her glowing personality came back. John describes her as being able to light up even the most depressing room. Kind of like your brother. All right, here we go with some timelines. Ready?
Yes.
April 22nd, 2009, Rochester, New York, 4 p.m. Yes, I got details. After her mom's... We're not laughing at the situation, guys.
I'm laughing at the amount of effort that my mother has put into, getting it down to the time.
Not only that, but unfortunately, we talk about some really fucked up shit, and we're not laughing at the shit. We're laughing because it's our way to release the trauma that we go through when we research said fucked up shit.
It's like when someone says something that makes a really awkward situation, you just kind of laugh it off to help relieve the tension of it.
Yes. So anyway, after her mom said no about South Carolina, she and her mom got into one banger of a fight, and Brittanee left and called John to pick her up. After she calmed down, she called her mom back and asked again, and her mom still said no. As would I. Brittanee asks her mom why, and her mom tells her there's no parents, I don't know the people that you want to go with, and something's going to happen. Fucking hell. As she talks to her mom on the phone, she suggests, I can't talk today, an alternate plan for her spring break. She asks if she can stay with friends and that she would have her phone on her for communication, and her mom says yes. But what her mom doesn't know, her boyfriend does. Brittanee is going to South Carolina with the people
friends
that invited her. Her boyfriend John tells her that he thinks it's a good idea to go, to get away from Rochester for 3 days. It's a decision he wholeheartedly regrets to this day.
Oh, I friggin' bet.
He didn't think anything would happen. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Most kids that age, you guys think you're invincible. You know what I mean? When you're that age, nothing's going to happen to me. I'm smart. I know it all. You don't know shit. I'm 51 years old and I don't know shit. Look at this world today.
Yeah.
The fucking kid that just shot up those poor little children in Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. So, anywho.
I never take spring break stuff as nonchalantly as a lot of, like, teenagers did. Like, when I was that age... Oh, God. When
Sound
I
like
was...
Granddad.
Oh, God. When I was a teenager, I never took spring break as nonchalantly as everyone else did. Because, like, I've seen enough horror movies to know that's when it's easy pickings.
Yep. Yep. So anyway, off to Myrtle Beach they go. And before she leaves, she sees John. And he unfortunately doesn't know that that's the last time he's going to see her. So she asks him to go, but he had to work and he couldn't go. Like pretty much all kids her age, Brittanee disobeyed her parents, but this time would be the last time.
Mm-hmm.
Things go horribly wrong, and I have to put all this in the beginning. Trust me, it's pertinent to the story. So once they arrive, they check into the Bar Harbor Hotel. She texts John telling him how great the weather is and about the palm trees.
Mm-hmm.
And then she tells her parents that she's watching movies with her friends when she's really in South Carolina, hitting up bars and living that spring break life.
Yep.
Apparently, and I don't know about now, but back then, you could get into bars and they would serve you. I mean, I don't even think you needed a fake ID.
Nah, especially around spring break, they, like, bars and whatnot know that spring break is a moneymaker.
Yeah, they were all about that paper.
Yeah.
They would turn a blind eye to underage drinker. I mean, for fuck's sake, I sure as hell hope it's not like that. I hope it changes.
I hope. I'm sure at this point, like, with how strict our society has gotten as of lately, that they're like, I am almost 30, and I still get carded.
It's not a bad thing.
No, I take it as a compliment, but still.
So by the second day, Brittanee tells John that she's somewhat disconnected to the friends as they're partying it up with drugs and she's not into that. And there's tension, now growing.
Yeah.
She doesn't know them all that well to begin with. I think they were more acquaintances, and I think they were older. They might have been seniors. I really wish I could have found that other documentary because that broke it down even more.
Mm.
So anyway... Now she's doing things on her own, such as walking to the restaurant and the beach alone. Sorry, never a good idea. And I will have pictures. One of these fucking days I will get the YouTube caught up. Maybe I'll do that after we're done all of our episodes tonight. But you want to talk about a beautiful girl. Absolutely stunning. So early Friday night, she runs into a person she knows from Rochester, Peter Brozowitz, who is a nightclub promoter back in New York, and he's staying with some of his friends about a mile away from her hotel.
That's not a Jewish name.
In a different hotel. We don't dislike the Jews.
No, I'm not making fun of Jews. I'm just saying there are names.
Should we say Jews? That's kind of wrong. The
Jewish
people.
Yes.
Sorry.
We apologize. But I am not making fun of the Jewish culture or people. I'm just saying there are names that you hear once and you're like, oh, that is definitely that name. Like, you could hear, like Dino Dinopoulos or something like that. And you're like, oh, that's a Greek name.
Well, even if people knew your last name, they'd be like, that's an Italian
Exactly.
name.
Or they hear your last name. They don't know what the fuck to make of that.
Well, it's German.
Very German.
Even though I'm not German at all. But anyway, I digress.
Yes.
Back to the story. So Saturday afternoon, now remember, Brittany's mom thinks she's still in New York at her friend's, not far from her own house. Her mom and sister call to tell her that they just bought her a new pair of soccer cleats because she was getting super into soccer, and to ask her what she's got planned. And she tells her sister she's at the beach. Well, it was a really warm day that day, even for upstate New York, which we know gets a fuck ton of snow.
Oh, yeah, it gets real
Her
cold
sister
up there.
thought she was, like, at this local beach that was near them. So they didn't think anything of any of this.
Yeah.
So here's where some of this shit starts to get hairy. While on the phone with her mom spoke to what she thought was a parent on the phone, which is why her mom felt comfortable to let her stay there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a parent at all. But she didn't know this until later. Brittany tells her mom that she'll see her tomorrow when she comes home, thanks her for letting her stay with her friends. She loves her. Her mom tells her she loves her back.
Mm-hmm.
Normal shit. They hang up. That's the last time her mom ever speaks to her.
Mm.
So after that call, she decides to meet up with her friend Peter, the promoter,
Yeah.
and texts her boyfriend John to let him know. She's having a miserable time with the friends that she, went up there. They turned out to be assholes, and she can't wait to come home the following day. And she borrowed a pair of shorts from one of those girls, and she had it out.
Yeah.
Apparently, she was going back to Peter's because she had left her flip-flops in his room.
Mm.
But, I mean, she's known this guy. The boyfriend knew this guy, so it wasn't like,
It wasn't like it's some rando. They had she had some kind of connection to the promoter guy.
Right. So now the girl who owned the shorts...
Yes.
I'll spit this out eventually. Contacts Brittanee and says, I want my shorts back. Like, I can just hear that. I want my shorts back. Bitch. So now she has to walk back to the hotel over a mile away to return the shorts to this girl. She's pissed. She's in constant texting contact with John until she wasn't. About a half hour goes by and he doesn't hear from her. He knows something is wrong because they never go for more than 10 minutes without speaking or texting.
Yeah.
So he's calling and texting and getting no response from her at all. So he threatens to tell her, I'm going to tell your mom where you're at. I'm going to call your mom and tell her where you are.
I'm going to sell you out.
Oh, excuse me. And still no answer.
Yeah.
So now you know something's wrong. So he does exactly that. He calls her mom.
Look,
her mom is livid. She's pissed. And then it turns to fear because no one can reach her.
Yeah. And I guess it would make sense that he wouldn't get a hold of Peter because he probably doesn't even know that the guy's down there.
No, he knows Peter's down there,
Okay.
and I think he did contact Peter. But Peter said, she got here and then pretty much left immediately because she had to go take the girls. I need my shorts.
Yeah.
So the next morning, Brittanee's mom, Brittanee's boyfriend, her grandparents, and 2 of her friends head to Myrtle Beach to look for her because now they haven't heard from her. It's been like 12 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
So her stepdad stays behind and watches Brittanee's 2 younger siblings.
Yeah.
Who she was super duper close with. So no one has heard from her since 9 p.m. Saturday night. And at first her phone was ringing, but now it's just going right to voicemail.
So the phone is dead at this point, or turned off.
It's turned off, dead, destroyed.
Yeah.
So she's been missing about 12 hours now, and the police are looking for her. They're looking at other hotels, on the beaches, restaurants, the streets. No Brittanee. So the police are questioning the so-called friends she went with, and they say they haven't seen or heard from her either and don't know where she could be.
Even though one of them was just bitching about, I want my shorts
I need my
back."
shorts. I have reasons for doubting these friends. Trust the process. Had I been able to find that other... And I may do a follow-up.
If you happen to find that documentary.
If I happen to find those other... I think there were 2 more documentaries I watched about this. And it goes more into... I need my shorts. That one.
Yeah.
So as the detectives start investigating, they learn that Brittanee's friend Peter has up and left town, and in a very odd time and manner. He checks out at 2 a.m., which was 5 hours. Guys, I'm not even drunk, I swear.
Take your time.
I know. We're from Jersey and we talk fast. 5 hours after she disappeared.
Okay.
Also odd, I have my finger up in the air, guys, I'm serious. They did not get their deposit, and they left most of their shit behind.
So he basically
Like
checked out and went.
Like, they got the fuck out of Dodge.
Like he might have seen some shit that he shouldn't have and just wanted to go.
Like, do you smell something rotten in Denmark? Because I do. So, anyway, as soon as old Petey boy gets back home to Rochester, he lawyers up. He gets a lawyer. And why are you getting representation if you didn't do anything wrong there, Petey boy? Also, why are you getting a criminal defense lawyer specializing in the defense of individuals and companies charged with criminal activity if you're innocent there, Scooter? I just, again, true crimey mind. So, I digress. On her way to initially meet Peter at his hotel on the night she went missing, a traffic cam does catch her walking down the street and texting, and this was about 8:15. She was trying to reach Peter to find out where he was, meeting up with him, so, she could get her flip-flops back.
Yeah.
Peter says she left shortly after she got there, because remember I said that friend, I need my shorts back!
Yeah. Went there, got flip-flops, immediately got called back out.
Right. So the police check the cameras, and they do see her leaving his hotel to head back to hers to return the shorts, And that was about 8:48. So she gets to his... They see her walking down the street at 8:15, midway between the two hotels. She gets to his hotel, and already she's back out the door by 8:48. So if it takes a half hour to walk from one hotel to the other hotel...
She left at around 8:15.
No, that was that was the traffic cam midway. So she got there at 8:30. So by 8:48, she's literally walking back out of the hotel.
Yeah.
She was only there 10 minutes and alive when she left.
Yeah.
So
clearly, as of how far the story is now, with the details that I currently know, Pete should have no reason to be lawyering up, because as of right now, there's no suspicion directed anywhere near him.
I can understand lawyering up,
but not to the extent that he has.
That and the other documentary I watched, he would not talk to the police. He would not talk to her parents. He wouldn't talk.
At all.
He just wouldn't talk. And that is fucking suspicious.
Very, yes.
If you've got nothing to hide, so what? I don't think... Alright, just for shits and giggles. Say he was doing drugs when he was down there. Who the fuck cares? There's a girl missing.
Yeah.
Your friend is missing.
Yeah.
I don't think the cops are going to go, oh, it smells like weed in here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. This is 2009. They would have gotten in trouble for weed.
Yeah, but I mean, at that particular moment, the most important thing was finding her.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been about a fucking dime bag of weed that you and a blunt that you're smoking.
Yeah.
That's irrelevant.
Ugh.
So anyway, pardon my rant. This just, it frustrates me because there's so many people, which is why I do the cold case carousel, that are, either...
Hey, you remembered the name.
Yes, that are either missing or they're unsolved murders, but people, please realize, if you have information and you know something, absolutely get a lawyer to protect yourself. But that doesn't mean you shut the fuck up and don't help.
You don't clam up, you help.
So anyway, rant done. Well, that rant. There might be another one. Who knows? So they go back to the traffic camera that caught her before, because it should have taken her 15 minutes to get back to that same spot where they saw her the first time from Peter's hotel, and she never made it. He's the last known person to see her. So once the police start questioning Peter and his lawyer, he tells them that he had to leave early due to one of his friends being pressured air testicles by his mom to come back home, so they left. But why not get your money and take your shit?
Yeah, really.
I mean, he may not have anything to do with Brittanee, and it does come out later that he doesn't. But dude, why act so sus?
Yeah, that's very sus. Like, it's one thing to leave in the middle of the night. Like, people will check out in the middle of the night. But the fact
was
that...
the room haunted?
Yeah,
did you have ghosties? What?
Like, did the walls start bleeding?
Was it spoopy in there?
Did you accidentally summon Candyman or Bloody Mary and you're like, I gotta get the fuck out of here?
I mean, it almost kind of makes me think, did he have something to do with it?
Yeah.
Did he not have something to do with it? I mean, who knows? Because stranger things have happened where people have air testicles, sold their friends off to the fucking sex slave trade.
Speaking of Stranger Things, as of the recording of this episode, the new season has dropped. Not a sponsor.
So let's get back to this. Anyway, no matter where I looked, I could not find the name of the girls who, I need my shorts back. But I do know the other friends, her close friends, did not know these girls or did not know them well.
Yeah.
Like the two friends that went down there,
they didn't know her, Brittany's actual, close friends.
No, the two close friends that went with her mom.
Oh, okay.
Didn't really know these girls.
But yeah, that's what I meant. The two girls that she had met up with down there were not well acquainted, were not, well known by her actual, friends.
Right. Alright, so detectives, they get her cell records, and her last known location was over an hour away, and it's not a great location. So as they go through her last communications, they see messages between her and her boyfriend, and her telling him that she was probably going to stay in after returning the shorts to, I need my shorts back. and she was just going to pack to leave the following day.
Yeah.
That was at 8:58 p.m.
So this was right after her leaving the...
Yes, right as she walked out the fucking door.
Yeah, like she
Because
walked...
that was the last... That's when the camera caught her leaving was 8:58.
Yeah, so this was literally... The last text they got on record is like the exact same time that they caught her on camera.
Yep.
Okay.
There were no more texts after that. So at 9:15, that's when he starts getting worried because he hasn't heard from her.
Yeah.
Now he's contacting the friends that she's with. They're calling her, which makes her phone ping from the cell towers in the direction she's traveling. She's traveling the opposite direction.
Okay.
So we know how cell towers work.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you don't have to be texting or calling to be traveling.
Mm-hmm.
Your phone will ping every fucking tower that you go by. However, if you are texting or calling or talking on the phone, the ping is more accurate.
Yeah.
So after about 30 minutes with his last communication, her boyfriend, her phone is pinged going south on Route 17 when she should have been going north.
Yeah.
She's pinged in Surfside Beach, which is 7 miles away from her hotel in Myrtle Beach. There's no way she could have walked there. Not in the time it took for her phone to get there.
Yeah,
she was in a vehicle.
Yeah, from like 8:58 to 9:15 or whenever. No.
Well, here's the thing. At 11:58 p.m., her phone pings in Georgetown, now 50 miles away from where her hotel was, and it pings near a boat landing.
Okay.
They have search dogs and rescued. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they basically pulled out all the stops for this.
Right. They've got like search dogs, cadaver dogs.
Yeah.
And they've got search parties, like
all kinds of canine units
looking everywhere, because it's all swamp. Like, if you ever think about it, you know, you can go back and watch. They show you it's a fucking gator pit. It's rural South Carolina. Alligators are, hey yo, what's up, homie?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're there. So you know, there's snakes, there's wild hogs. I mean, wild hogs will fucking kill you.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention the insects.
Oh god, the insects alone are enough to take you out.
So now, you know, they've got ATVs and boats and hunters to keep the boars at bay. So after a week-long extensive search and hundreds of people helping, they find nothing. Not a thing where her phone pinged last. So her family and friends had to return home, and without Brittanee.
Yeah.
8 months go by. 8 fucking months. In December, they get a tip to search that area again. They find sunglasses that could be hers. Some think they're hers, some don't. So they're sent out for DNA testing, and guess what?
She's shaking her head as in no.
There was no DNA on them. So, you know, her family and friends had to return home.
Yeah.
And without Brittanee, and I think I said that already.
Yes.
But anyway, almost a year after her disappearance, police have had some persons of interest, and they do believe that this is a homicide. Somebody killed that poor baby. It makes me so sick. So her mom, at the time, still believed her daughter was alive and possibly being trafficked, which, like I said,
that's
gorgeous
usually,
girl, and it's
usually the end result.
You know, and we know this shit spreads like wildfire all over the world. It happens everywhere.
Yup.
However, South Carolina isn't really known to be a hotspot for human trafficking, or at least it wasn't back then. I don't know about now.
Yeah, I don't think I want to know.
All right, so here we go again. Let's insert a jailhouse informant by the name of Mr. Brown.
Okay. Some Reservoir Dog shit going on.
Well, he says he's getting death threats and everything for being a snitch, but, you know, you'll see why he's getting the death threats. Anywho, I'm not saying his first name. I'm going to just say Mr. Brown. Now, you know, I don't normally say names, but this guy, I mean, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Mr. Brown here tells the detectives that he has info on Brittanee's case and claims to have knowledge on the abduction and what happened to her. And he tells the authorities that he went to see a Timothy Taylor, this name I will say, for a drug deal in McClellanville, South Carolina, which is in that
That
area.
Okay.
Where her phone last pinged.
Yeah.
He went to this rundown trailer, like, you know, in trailer parks. No, I'm not knocking trailer parks, but this one was, like, rundown.
Like when you say
like
trailer park...
They named it a stash house. That's what they called it. So, this particular one was rundown. Anyhoot, he goes there for a drug deal, and he claims he sees her there being, and here's the trigger warning, gang raped by multiple men. She's bound and being taken advantage of, he claims. He also claims he had nothing to do with that. He was just there for the dope. Then he claims at some point she broke free, busts out the back door, and she's caught, pistol whipped, and he hears gunshots. That's his claim. Then he says he hears later on that they killed her, they being Timothy Taylor and others that were there that day. And again, this part comes from the other documentary that I saw that I can't seem to get now, and that they wrapped her up and took her to a gator pit. Yes, I said a gator pit.
So they raped her, they killed her, and then to hide the evidence, they fed her to a bunch of gators.
Bingo bango.
Ugh.
So this way the body would be gone, there would be no evidence, you know, perfect crime, or so they think. The informant did say more, but he keeps pointing the finger to Timothy and also his father.
Timothy's father or Mr. Brown's father?
Timothy and Timothy's father.
Okay.
I should mention that this informant is in prison for an unrelated manslaughter and is doing 25 years.
So he's also just trying to get the sentence knocked down.
Turns out Mr. Informant doesn't like Timothy's daddy, and I guess wanted to get some retribution by dragging his son through the mud, because all of this is a fucking lie. And because it's been proven to be a lie, I'm not going to get into any more details, as it's been painful enough for Timothy and his family. But the last thing I will say on this person is, this poor Timothy was a suspect for 13 years. Can you imagine? 13 fucking years he's had to live with this stigma and the side eyes and the looks people gave him, thinking he kidnapped and raped and murdered and dumped this girl. And then threw her into a gator pit to be eaten? Dude. For fucking real.
Give me a second. Did they say whether or not, because of the severity of the situation at hand, if Mr. Brown's lie added years to his sentence?
I sure hope it did. I sure hope it did.
Oh, for sure.
And another thing, Timothy has one arm. How's he going to do all that?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's possible. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
Especially if you have other friends there, which is what the claim was.
Yeah.
But anyway, chopstick. There were others investigated for this poor girl's disappearance as well. Come out and play, you sick pedo fuck, Mr. Raymond Moody. Ray. Well, he's got lots of things to hide.
Oh, I can imagine.
He was investigated initially too, and I have pictures of the place that he was staying.
Is it trashy? Bingo. Ugh.
And old Ray here, he has a record for doing bad things to children.
Oh, God.
Specifically under the age of 14. Ray started doing bad things to kids back in 1983.
Jesus.
Now, back then I was 13.
Yeah.
So he's doing naughty things to children my age.
Yeah.
He was sentenced to California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation from Solano County, I probably said that wrong, on December 15th, 1983 to serve a 40-year plus 4-month sentence for, here's the S word, sodomy of a child under the age of 14 while inflicting great bodily injury, rape with the force and threat of violence, lewd and lascivious acts with a child under the age of 14, and assault with intent to commit mayhem.
God damn.
Sick fuck, right?
Oh, yeah.
In California, Moody was convicted of raping 6 girls between 8 and 17 years old. 8 years old!
That's fucked.
8!
Yeah.
He was released. after 21 years and on parole in 2004, and then was let off parole in 2007. First of fucking all,
good behavior or not, you don't let the man out.
pedophiles do not change.
Nah.
You know what I think should be done? Castrate them.
Yeah.
Not that he couldn't use something else. I mean, he sodomized the poor girl. It doesn't say with what.
Yeah.
But still, physically castrate him and chemically castrate him. So even the little nub he's got, he won't get an erection. I don't think pedophiles should ever be let out of jail. Ever. Especially one like this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying the people that have been wrongly convicted of... I swear. One twisted tape.
She's saying that... She's trying to say that she doesn't think that way toward people who are wrongly convicted of pedophilia. But the people that are rightly convicted and are definitely 100% pedophiles need to be punished severely.
And why are we keeping them alive? It's taxpayer money.
Yeah.
They're never going to change. And then you let them out. And wait till you hear what old Ray Ray does. Perfect fucking example. Oh, and by the way, when Ray Ray was in jail, he had a cell husband. So, not that I care that he's gay or bi or whatever. I don't care. You know me. I don't mind that. But dude, you should have never been let out.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. I digress. Okay, let's fast forward to a few weeks ago. Old Ray Ray was arrested and charged with obstruction of justice in Brittanee's case. Okay. See, back when she went missing, they did have him as a suspect because he's a fucking pedophile who likes to kidnap kids and do disgusting things to them. I watched a documentary on that part, and for the life of me, I can't seem to find it. That was another one.
Okay, so that's one. So that's one of the two that you can't find. One of the two.
So they searched the place he was staying. It was called the Sunset Lodge. It's more like a strip of rooms attached to each other.
So it's a motel.
It looks like a seedy no-tell motel to me. Like
some Bates Motel shit going on.
like, no offense to the guy that owns this place. I hope he's cleaned it up since then. But when I saw the pictures of it, I was like, that shit looks like a pay by the hour.
Yeah.
So, chapstick break. Getting myself all worked the fuck up. He was there when he was first named a person of interest in Drexel's case in 2011. So you figure she went missing in 2009.
He was suspected 2 years later.
2 years later. Investigators searched room 22, which was his room. They cut up the mattress, took the wallpaper off the walls, and fingerprinted everything, the Sunset Owner Lodge said. Yeah. And the guy that owns this also went to school with him. So maybe that's why he let him
stay there,
because he knew him when they were younger. Who the fuck knows? There wasn't enough evidence to name him as a suspect or to charge his ass at the time. But flash forward to now.
Now, as in a couple of weeks ago.
Right. This is all like new news. He was just arrested May 4th. So literally today is May 27th. And they got him on the 4th. So what? 23 days?
Something. Yeah, roughly 3 weeks.
So now they've got his perverted ass in custody. Thank the goddess. And he's there with no bail. Thank the goddess again. But here ends the story of this beautiful young girl who did what all teens do at some point in their lives. And she didn't listen to her parents. Anywho, old Ray Ray, he confesses after he knows he can't get out of this shit show. And he's accused of kidnapping, raping, and killing Brittanee on April 25th before leaving her remains the following day in a wooded area about 35 miles south of where she was last seen.
So that would explain the phone ping.
Yes. So I need to keep an eye on this. I'm curious if old Ray Ray here explains how he gets her into the vehicle. Does he just snatch and grab? Because he's creepy as fuck looking.
Yeah.
He's like got one eye and shit. And he doesn't even have it covered. It's like a sunken in socket. So I'm curious. I'm going to think it's a snatch and grab.
I was going to say, because, like, that's... unless he got like the right angle of lighting where that shit wasn't showing,
Well,
there's no other way.
He did a snatch and grab. Like I said, I need to do an update on this because I did find more stuff on this. But he did do that same thing to another girl, and she got away. The old snatch and grab.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what he did to Brittanee. And 5'3", 103 pounds?
Yeah.
That's a little girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, he ain't picking my 151 pounds. No. My fat ass up. Let's just say fat ass. And besides the fact, I'm throwing elbows.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're 17 and you're naive to the way the world is...
And you've just been partying, like, whether or not you were doing drugs and whatnot
I
with
don't
the
think
people...
she was. I think she was more upset and just wanted to go home.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say was whether or not you were doing drugs with the people that you were supposed to be meeting there, I'm sure that she's probably...
Had cocktails at
Yeah,
least.
yeah, she's had at least a couple of drinks. Now, I'm not saying that should make any difference, but I'm saying that that could be a variable in terms of how she could have been kidnapped.
So he dumps her on the 25th, which is the day after he, I'm going to say, snatched and grabbed.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what that poor girl must have gone through
In
in the time he got her till the time he
killed her
and dumped her.
Yeah.
So he left her remains the following day in a wooded area 35 miles south of where she was last seen. He's accused of strangling her to death. The coroner did say it could take longer for the official cause of death, but you can tell by the hyoid bone being broken if it was strangulation. Now, I've watched enough true crime shit to know that. It takes a lot of force to break that bone.
Is that supposed to be like near your goozle?
What the fuck is your goozle?
The neck goozle.
Your turkey gobbler?
Yeah, the goozle.
But anyway, many years of true crime shit, I know that. So, I mean, I would love to sit here and say, I hope he shot her and it was fast. So that he didn't strangle her to death and that's the last thing she fucking saw after
Was some
he did
creepy
what he
ass
did.
one-eyed guy.
And the worst part about it is her body, there is no body, it's just bone.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to tell what type of trauma the body went through unless he used a knife and you saw like nick marks in the bones or anything like that. But anyway, to Brittanee's family, we are extremely sorry that this happened, and we have nothing but love and compassion for you. And I hope that fucker gets the electric chair. I don't even know if they do it down there, but
I mean, it's the South. Who knows what the fuck they do down there anymore?
I don't know what South Carolina's laws are, but I sure as hell hope that somebody fucking gets him. And I hope he drops the soap. And
I mean, France. And when I
when I say I hope he drops the soap, I mean anyway. Let me finish.
Forced butt stuff.
Or cracking his head into a spigot.
Yeah.
So the warrants for old Ray Ray were that Moody took overt actions to conceal and or dispose of evidence of a crime, also within the Georgetown limits. Moody reportedly did unlawfully seize, confine, and unveil Brittanee without the authority of the law. So I'm thinking...
What the fuck does that last word mean?
I don't know. I probably said it wrong.
I'm looking that up.
But I think he snatched and grabbed. He also committed non-consensual sexual battery against Brittanee during the commission of a kidnapping and was done by utilizing aggravating force, the arrest warrants detailed. According to the 15th Circuit Solicitor Jimmy Richardson, Brittanee was raped and murdered at the Santee River. I saw signs for that all the times I've traveled to Santee River. And her body was moved to Old Town Avenue. And I think it was not far from where he was living. Also, from what I read, after he knew the jig was up, the rotten fuck did do one good thing. He did actually take them to the remains.
Where he dropped her off. Yeah.
Right. I mean, at least her parents can bury her or cremate her.
Yeah, do some kind of proper service.
Whatever they want to do to have her. But anyway, I will keep my eye on this one still because I want that motherfuck shit to never get out. Like so many other sick bastard pedophiles out there, if he gets out, he's going to do the same fucking thing all over again. This time, They let him out, and he fucking killed somebody.
Yep.
Who knows? Maybe he's killed other people, and no one knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, rotten hell, you sick fucking piece of shit. And I hope you drop that soap, and somebody finds you standing there ready to serve you the justice you deserve for not only doing this to Brittanee and her family, but also for your other victims who have to deal with that trauma. Mm-hmm. And for Mr. Brown, I hope you got time added onto your shit, sir.
Yeah, really.
That was super uncool.
Yeah, you don't fuck with someone's life like that just because you have a personal vendetta against their family. And
at the time, Timothy was, I think, a young kid.
Yeah.
I think he was still in high school. So 17, 18.
One arm in high school. The kid's got a rough enough life right there.
Exactly. So, anyway, thoughts and condolences go out to Brittanee's family once again. Mm-hmm. And also to Timothy's family. I hope you guys can recover from this. You know, pray to whatever God you believe in. Yeah. And this is the end of the story of the beautiful Brittanee. Mm. All right. Take us out, son.
So, yeah. Thank you for listening to Horror Cultural, where we grow love for all things spooky and definitely macabre at this point.
Yes.
You can find us on all forms of social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
I'm getting there, guys. I swear.
One day you're just going to get like 8 notifications, and it's just going to be like a massive drop of videos on YouTube. But, yeah, follow us at Horror Cultural. I don't remember. Does it have the underscore? Or is it just one word? Like horror underscore.
I think it's all one word.
All right. Try it both ways. Horror Cultural or horror underscore cultural. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure it's one word. But yeah, if you have any stories that you would like us to discuss or anything you would like to, you know,
just share.
Yeah, like
hey, what's up? Oh, by the way, Tino. Thank you for emailing us.
Oh, yeah, we finally got our first fan mail.
It was family, but that's okay.
Fan mail's fan mail. But yeah, send us an email at horrorcultural at gmail.com. Again, any cryptids. And our website, which is
horrorcultural.com.
Hey, we actually have a .com.
We have a .com!
Send us like any cryptids you want us to look into, any stories you want us to look into, any stories that you may have that you are comfortable talking about.
Yeah, we'll do listener stories.
Yeah, we'll do fan mail reads at some point when we get more fan mail. But anyway, thank you guys for listening, and we hope to. I was gonna say see you in the next episode, but this is an audio podcast. Still too used to YouTube. But yeah, we hope you're here for the next episode, guys.
Anyway, guys, thank you. We love you, and
stay safe out there.
Stay safe.